Manchester United 4, Newcastle United 1. Kind of the score we expected, to be fair, but maybe not the performance we expected. It was a lot better than I think a lot of people thought we would do. But let's have a look at the game. Let's have a look at the performances, the team lineup, and obviously Mark and Steve Bruce, who for me, again, ballsed it up. Completely ballsed it up. But this is the review. Hi everybody, I'm Paul, back again with another video, and obviously just reviewing yesterday's 4-1 defeat to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Like I said in the intro there, kind of the expected result, but maybe not the performance. I thought first half we were very, very good. We limited Manchester United to very few opportunities, and we also had opportunities ourselves. Which again, had we had anything powerful up front, we may well have got some goals. But look at the team lineup to start with. Obviously, Freddie Woodman was in goal. We had Javier Manquillo coming in at right wing back, which I was happy to see, to be honest, because I think he deserves an opportunity. Left wing back was obviously Matt Ritchie, and across the back, a couple of changes were made. Jamal Lascelles, Isaac Hayden coming in, and also Kieran Clark. Now, Isaac Hayden for me was the biggest surprise because, you've got Fernandes and Shah sitting on the backsides on the subs bench, and you have a midfielder at centre-back. But I don't really think Hayden did anything too bad, to be honest, during the game. But, that's how Steve Bruce puts us out at the minute. He really does. In midfield, we had Joe Willock, we had Sean Longstaff and Miggy Almiron. And then, of course, St. Maximin supporting Joe Linton up front. Now, I must say on Joe Linton, I thought during the first half, he was very, very good. He had Varane pretty much running all over the place. He was working hard. Varane really found it tough against him. But again, with Joe Linton, it's the final product, isn't it? He has opportunities, and when he strikes the ball, it's powder puff. The second half, he had a good opportunity again. Either side of the goalkeeper, it was a goal. But again, he puts it straight at De Gea, stings his fingers, and that's it, chance gone. But I thought he did okay. For me, during that first half, we looked very organised for once. We sat back a little bit and hit Man United on the counter-attack, which we tend to do these days. And it was working. Man United, you could see were getting frustrated. The crowd were getting frustrated. And, it would have been brilliant to hold out until that half-time whistle. But again, we let ourselves down and we shoot ourselves in the foot. Perfect time for Manchester United to score into injury time in the first half. And of course, the goal scorer, it just had to be Ronaldo, didn't it? Greenwood, we know what he does, especially when he's on the right-hand side. He cuts in and shoots on his left. We didn't really pick him up there. He was able to cut back. He has a shot. And for me, Freddie Woodman has to do so much better with that. He has to do better. Whether he gathers the ball or he just lets it, he pushes it away for a corner, whatever it may be. It's the last kick of the first half, for God's sake. And, it's a powder puff effort, really, from Greenwood, and he doesn't scoop it up properly. It bounces to, the one and only Ronaldo, and he's not going to miss a tap in from 2 yards out. So, of course, Old Trafford goes absolutely mental, and, very, very loud atmosphere because Cristiano's back, he scores, and we go in at half-time 1-0 down, and I'm gutted, to be honest, because I thought we played very, very well. We had opportunities as well. Joe Willock blazed one over the bar. Now, having said that, I think Joe Willock should have actually, dropped that back to Miggy. Miggy was in a perfect position. He cut right across the back of Willock and had an opportunity. Had Willock just pulled it back to him, he would have had pretty much an open goal. But unfortunately, Willock didn't see him and he blazes it over the bar. And again, opportunities were there, but the final product isn't there still. It really isn't. St. Maximin all over the place again, doing really well yesterday. But his final product, as we all know, needs serious, serious work. And if he can get that final product into his game, he is going to be a completely different player. So much more of a threat if he gets that final product right, whether it be a shot or whether it be the through ball or something like that. But again, he played very well yesterday. You could tell he was up for the game. Knowing millions of people are watching because of CR7's return, and St. Maximin, this was his opportunity to shine in front of millions as well. And I think he did, to be honest. But again, we come out for the second half, and again, Man United have a lot of possession, but they're not really hurting us. And then comes our equaliser. Fantastic work from Miggy. You've got to say it. I've been one of his biggest critics, but he was outstanding yesterday. And that's what I want to see from Miggy moving forward. Absolutely brilliant. Taking players on, driving at the defence, and they didn't know how to handle him in the second half. He was fantastic. Skips round I think it was Matic he skipped round. He drove forward brilliantly and then played it into St. Maximin. St. Maximin simply rolls it into the path of Manquillo and bang. It's in the back of the net. It's 1-1. Newcastle fans go absolutely mental. It kind of shuts down Old Trafford partially. And, we're in the game. Now, I think at that point in the game, we deserved it. Without a shadow of a doubt, we deserved it. Because we were matching them as far as I was concerned. But again, as has been the case with Newcastle United so often, we kind of concentration goes again. Ronaldo is played in, and again, Freddie Woodman lets it through his legs. If that was De Gea at the other end, how good he is saving with his legs. He keeps his legs shut, it bounces off him and goes away for a corner. But again, Freddie Woodman, his positional play, not great, and obviously his legs are wide open, and Ronaldo gets a second. Old Trafford goes bananas again, and it's 2-1 to Manchester United. And at that stage, you're thinking, well, we can still get back. Miggy again with a couple of driving runs. Joe Linton has a brilliant opportunity, cuts back onto his right foot, and smashes it straight at De Gea. Either side of him, and it was 2-2. Either side. There was no way that De Gea was stopping that from that kind of angle. But again, this has been the problem we know with Joe Linton. When it comes to shooting the ball, it's very, very powder puff, and it doesn't have that killer instinct of a Callum Wilson, which is why he's not a striker. But then Man United get a third with a brilliant strike from Fernandes. I don't like the bloke personally, but what a finish that was. But again, where is the defenders coming to close him down? The ball is played into Fernandes, and he has the whole space of Old Trafford just to pick his spot. Sean Longstaff doesn't close him down quick enough. The defenders don't come out quick enough. And it's a worldy strike. There's no doubt about that. Freddie Woodman had no chance with that. And it's in the back of the net. It's 3-1. And then you're looking to Steve Bruce to make a change. Do something. Try and affect the game somehow. We're 3-1 down. And he puts defenders on. He changes Manquillo for Murphy. He brings on Jamal Lewis. Pushes Matt Ritchie further forward. Where's the striker? You've got Dwight Gill sitting on the bench and all this crap that you've come out with since he signed his new deal saying he's going to be used. We're 3-1 down, man, for God's sake. Bring a striker on. Bring somebody on who's going to try and affect the game. But no, he doesn't. And then he brings Jeff Hendrick on, of all people. I mean, I know there was only 5 minutes left when he brings Hendrick on, but fuck me, come on. I mean, what's Jeff Hendrick going to do influencing the game when we're that far behind? And then, of course, Lingard spins Jamal Lewis like he's not even there, and it's 4-1. And yes, the scoreline seems a little bit harsh, given Newcastle United's first half performance. But the last 20 minutes of the game, Man United simply dominated us. Simply dominated. We didn't have an answer for it. And I put that down to the manager, because he didn't make the changes that we needed to. He didn't make the tweaks in formation that he needed to early enough. Yes, he went to 4 at the back eventually, but it's too fucking late again. Every time this bozo does it, it's too late in the game. He makes these changes when the game has gone. When the game is gone, it's not even worth it, to be fair. Not even worth it. And this really pisses me off about Steve Bruce. It really does. Man United, yeah, you can say, the scoreline flattered them a little bit, but given the last 20 minutes, it probably didn't. We ran out of gas again. The changes that were made were pathetic. God knows what Dwight Gale's thinking. I mean, me personally, I know that Dwight Gale isn't good enough for the Premier League anymore. He's a championship striker. But for fuck's sake, when we're 3-1 down, what's to lose? We're 3-1 down at Old Trafford. There's nothing to lose in putting another striker on the pitch. But no, he doesn't. Complete inept bozo. And then, we lose the game 4-1, and, our situation is pretty dire at the minute. We're second off bottom, 1 point, and it is pretty dire. This Leeds match next week is absolutely massive. Massive to the club. But when we've got a manager like Steve Bruce there, and you're thinking, fucking hell, we're relying on this guy to try and turn things round, it ain't going to happen. And then, of course, in his post-match press conference, he has the clash with Lee Ryder. Lee Ryder, for once, brilliant, asking the question that the fans want to know. Why did you go on holiday? Why did you go on holiday instead of working on the pitch? And, of course, he has a go at Lee Ryder because Lee Ryder's asked him a question that he doesn't like. He gets his arse up again because he's an arrogant prick. And he gets his arse in a tangle again and has a go at Lee Ryder saying, it's your fault, it's the media's fault that the fans are like this, apparently. Fuck off, Steve Bruce. Wake up, will you? It's nothing to do with the media. It's you. It's you that are the problem because you're absolutely shocking. To say that it's the media that's getting the fans' backs up, and especially Lee Ryder in the Chronicle, shut the fuck up, will you? Absolutely pathetic excuse. Why don't you come out for once in your life and admit that you get the substitutions wrong, you get the tactics wrong, and you get the formations wrong? Because you're clueless and fucking inept. But no, nothing will be said about that. Because this little fucking cabbage head yes man is just living a life of luxury here, stealing a fucking living off our football club. That's all he does. He steals a living, and he will do for as long as he's at the football club. We need him gone. But this Leeds match on Friday is massive. Massive for the club and massive for Bruce himself, because I think if we get turned over by Leeds United, that's it. Game over. He has got to be fired. He has got to go. Now, we can start talking about who to bring in, after the fact, because Graham Jones can temporarily manage the team until we find somebody decent to come in. But we can talk about who that is going to be once this fucking idiot is out the club. But Mike Ashley, you need to have the balls now. You need to have the balls to get rid of him. Because it's simply not good enough. And you are risking millions of pounds here. Because if we go down, you know as well as anybody that we ain't coming back. And you lose millions of pounds on any potential takeover in the future. Because it'll be an EFL club when you eventually sell it. If you decide to keep this twat in charge. But, the players gave it everything yesterday. I have to say, the players gave it everything. I'm not going to have a go at individual players yesterday. Freddie Woodman, yes, he should have done much better with 2 of the goals. And Jamal Lewis should have done better with Lingard on the 4th goal. But you know what? It was better first half. We worked our asses off. But then questions are asked. Why can we play like that against Manchester United? But when we play the likes of West Ham, Villa, Southampton, we don't turn up. Completely different team. But the work rate was there yesterday. I saw work rate from the players yesterday, which is what we've been crying out for. But the manager let us down yesterday. No doubt about it. He let us down because of his actual ineptness to try and change anything. Because he's frightened to get rid of this 5 at the back until it's too late in the game that we can't do anything. It's a fucking joke. And then to blame the media and stuff like that about the fans' backs up and stuff like that. No, Steve, it's you. Because you're an arse and you're absolutely dreadful at what you do. So we've got to turn our attention now to the Leeds game on Friday. And I have a feeling it's going to be a very, very toxic atmosphere because Leeds United will come at us. You bet your bottom dollar they will. Bielsa's not a stupid manager. He is a very, very clever man. And he will tell his team to go at us from the word go on Friday night. And you know damn well every single Newcastle fan knows it. Now, what do we do tactic-wise or formation-wise? Does he change it? I don't think he does. I think he goes 5 at the back again. But that's just the way it is with this man. He is fucking clueless. Yes, improvements in the first half, definitely. But again, we're on the end of a hiding. People can say whether it was, a hiding that was justified or not. It doesn't matter because history will state we went to Old Trafford and we lost 4-1. But we know that it's Steve Bruce that is the main problem here. Yes, we've got Mike Ashley and we know all this shit about him. But the manager of this football club is simply not good enough. He's not good enough to make tactical changes during a game to have any influence on it. Bringing defenders on when you're 3-1 down at Old Trafford, for God's sake. But anyway, guys, that's my review of the game. I'm devastated, to be honest, because I thought we played very well in the first half. A little unlucky to go in behind. Individual errors led to a couple of goals. That's all we can say, really. It was individual errors, but those are errors that we've seen so many times. Carl Darlow may well come in next Friday night now. I don't see Woodman keeping his place, to be honest. which is a shame because I had high hopes for him, but he just doesn't look good enough for the Premier League, which is it's a shame. But let me know in the comments below what you thought of the game. Let me know what you thought of Steve Bruce. Did he get his substitutions right? Because I think you're a bit blinkered if you did. Were we unlucky to concede 4 goals? Where do we go going forward now? Let me know in the comments below. Let's have a conversation about it. If you have enjoyed the video, guys, please don't forget to smash the like button and really do help me build the channel up. And if you haven't already and you like what you see, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll be back tomorrow night with the 4 Horsemen of the Toon. I'm sure that's going to be a spicy conversation about Newcastle again. And don't forget on Tuesday night as well, later time of 8 o'clock instead of 7:30. It's Fan Forum Live. Get yourself on the show with me and have a discussion about the match on Saturday at Old Trafford and the build-up to the Leeds game. Where do we go from here? Who knows? But thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care and enjoy your week.
Be strong.